live from the internet. This is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends whose oil business has taken a big hit recently. Welcome to the Spacecast. Hey everybody, welcome, hello, Podworms Spacecast, back at you, another episode from quarantine. We're making the best of it, and I'd like to introduce you to the guys on the show today. We have one half of the Deadly Brother duo, it's Mike McCoy.
Deadly Brother roll call.
And his deadly brother, Kevin McCoy.
End of the Deadly Brother roll call.
We have our DJ, producer, and all-around great guy, Chase Golka.
Hello.
We have the bad boy of Seattle, Bill Williams.
More like the scaredy cat of Shoreline.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Scaredy cat.
More about that later. And our little buddy, Jim Charters.
Yeehaw.
Eat. I am the low-hanging fruit, Andrew LeClaire. We have a great show today. We have some pod mail. We have an installment of Phil's Critter Corner. And we're going to end the episode with a little quarantine questionnaire. So stay tuned for all that. Before we get into all that fun, I had an interesting trip out in the wild this weekend. I actually decided to brave the outdoors. Have you guys done much in the way of getting outside and being with mingling with people recently?
Yeah, I'm actually an essential worker, so I voluntarily went back to the office this week.
Oh, how's that been?
Voluntarily.
Wow.
I was sick of sitting at home all day, every day. Now I sit in the office all day and then come home and sit all day. It's much better.
much better. That sounds really nice.
Yeah. Well, after being kind of in isolation for a while, it is pretty weird to be back out in society, interacting with people, especially because over the last 8 weeks or so, we've been treating other humans like they're 100% poisonous to come in contact with. So just being near other people in public is a pretty weird feeling. So we went to Home Depot because our vacuum cleaner broke, and I thought I was going to buy one over the internet. And I was like, you know what? I can't really properly buy a vacuum cleaner over the internet. I need to see it in person to fall in love with it. Very much the same way that Harry Potter finds his wand.
Right. You need to smell it.
You have to go try it out.
Gotta smell it.
Yeah.
You gotta smell it.
2 things I did. Smell it, try it out. Then I could buy a vacuum.
Yep.
So we went to Home Depot, and it was pretty early on a Saturday. And by pretty early, I mean like 9 o'clock. But what I forgot is that early for a Home Depot is like 5 o'clock. Because who goes to Home Depot? Dads. And what time do dads wake up to work on the house? Like 4:30
a.m.
Yeah, like 5 a.m. like as early as humanly possible. They want to get out there and start working on the house because it's the weekend, goddammit, and 2x4s are not going to buy themselves.
That's right.
So the parking lot was packed, and it was generally pretty good. Like most people were wearing masks, and I think most places have some sort of a policy set up where they're kind of keeping people at some sort of a distance. They're sanitizing stuff. It didn't feel scary, but it felt weird because, just being, again, back around people in somewhat of a close proximity, just by itself, this experience is kind of strange. But I wanted to get a vacuum cleaner, and we had seen online that there was some model that was on a pretty good sale. Must have been like an older model that was kind of going out. And we saw they had one in stock in this store. And so we went to the vacuum cleaner area, and we found that model. It was on display, had the higher price. There's a price that was lower that was advertised on their website. So I tracked down a guy, John, and I said, hey, I didn't know him before this. I read his name tag. I said, hey, John.
I was like, which John?
Your favorite sales guy at Home Depot.
I mean, he became my favorite sales guy.
John. That's cool.
Yeah, John. Well, he was great. But I asked him, and I said, do you guys honor your online prices here in the store? And he said, absolutely, no problem. I said, terrific. Walked away, went back to the vacuum. I said, yep, all good to go. Let's pick up this vacuum. And then the model was on display, and the boxes were underneath it. And I realized that all the vacuums are all chained up. So you can't just kind of like steal them, I guess. And so essentially what they have is they have some sort of a wrapping around the box. And they have, it's not exactly a chain, but it's one of those kind of really thick wires or cords, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Like you can't cut through that shit. So
No.
I had to go back to John. I said, hey man, thanks for your help earlier. I need your help again, bud. Vacuum cleaner you want is all locked down. Need your assistance here. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. And so he goes over and takes a look at it. He's like, oh wow, the last guy who did this really did a number on this stack of vacuums. Because the way it works is that there's maybe like 30 vacuums all sat there next to each other. And the one cord goes through all of them. So it kind of snakes through all the different vacuums. And the only way to get the one that you want is to uncord it from all the other ones. I kind of fish it through and pull it through all the little straps to get it untangled.
That's secure.
It was pretty damn secure. And so he happily, nice guy, was basically uncording and unlatching all these other vacuums because the one we wanted was like the fifth from the bottom of the pile, as it turned out. And so after he kind of fumbles around for a little bit, getting it taken care of, he gives it to us. And we're like, all right, man, thanks, appreciate it. And we go to check out, and the guy rings it up and says, okay, it's $280. And we said, okay, cool. We just want to check to make sure we can honor this online price. And he says, oh yeah, let me just make sure it's the right model. And he checks it, and it's not the right model. It's a different, like, newer model. And we said, oh, okay, I guess we'll go get the right model then. And already I'm just feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to bother John again.
Poor John.
At this point, there's a part of my head where I'm just like, should I just buy the more expensive model to be done right now?
Yeah. The answer is yes.
But it was like $80 or $90, and it's a vacuum cleaner, and I don't really care that much to spend an extra $100 on a vacuum. So I was like, all right, I'll just go deal with it and just kind of suck this up.
Yeah.
And so I went back and I said, hey, John, bad news for you. That was the wrong model. We need the other model that's on display to get the money off. He's like, oh yeah, no problem, man, no problem. It's like, I'll get you the right one. And we're looking through all the different boxes, can't find one down below. He says, oh, actually, there's one in my system here, and I think it's actually up there on that shelf. I just gotta go get a ladder. So he goes,
Jesus.
John's such a nice guy.
John Depot is the best.
John Depot.
He truly was a nice guy. I mean, genuinely, this guy was super nice. And he said, like, this is a part-time job. And he's like, yeah, I just do this kind of on every other weekend, just kind of like helping people out. That's what he literally said. So he really was.
I was just there to help you out.
He really was a super sweet guy.
Yeah, they don't even pay me. I just show up.
Is John like 65 years old?
No, John was probably in his mid-20s.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah.
John.
He's giving off major retiree vibes.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, definitely.
He's like a 70-year-old man who's still working. He's like, I just need something to do with my time.
Right.
I grew up going to this Home Depot, and I had Johns and myself that would help me find things in the store.
He made his millions in the stock market, and this is his retirement gig.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is just his part-time job. Then, like, what else does he do? If he's 20,
Yeah, day trader.
Like, what?
I don't know, but he seemed to like it. But
Bitcoin millionaire is my guess.
That's probably it.
He like made a shit ton of money off of like skewering like pharmaceutical prices, and this is his way of paying back society. Is just being a helper out at Home Depot.
So his name was John in quotes.
yeah,
John Rockefeller.
Right.
He's an heir to a diamond mine that uses child labor.
Yeah. John, what's your last name? Oh, it's Vanderbilt.
Deer. So I
Wait.
The Deere,
This is
John Deere
the
fortune.
John Deere who works at Home
This is
Depot.
the John Deere.
He's in his mid-20s.
He's like, my family calls me Junior, but
Yeah.
John Deere Jr.
I'm actually,
My father
they
John
actually,
worked here, and his father John worked here.
So John Deere, friendly John Deere, he went to go get the ladder. And the whole time, just to give you context, the vacuums are kept right by the kitchens in Home Depot. Because I don't want to make him feel pressured, I'm kind of like opening cabinets and just kind of like, oh, this is a nice fixture. Exploring the kitchen.
I like that your thought process is, while I'm here for a vacuum, I might as well remodel my kitchen. I'll just add that on.
I was getting some ideas. But
Fair enough.
So he gets a ladder, he climbs up to the top of the goddamn shelf, pulls down the vacuum. He's like, here you go, man. We take a look at it, and I'm like, this is the same model we already had. It's the newer model again. He's like, yeah, I guess it is. And so he's like, you know what? I'll get you this. I'll sell you the model on the floor. If you want the model on the floor, let's get you that one. And I'll see if I can get you some money off too. How's that sound? And I'm like, John, man, that sounds great. You're the man,
great,
man.
John.
And so he calls like a supervisor, checks to make sure it's all good. It's good. All right.
What?
And then he's like, all right, I can go get you this floor model. And he does all the stuff to like get it off the shelf. And he's like, yeah, so I got cleared to give you 10% off. So I think, if it's like $290, we can get you like $270. And so me and Emily both look at each other. And as a reminder, the online price is like $200, which is where this whole thing started with John, was because I asked him, hey, do you guys honor the online prices? And he says, oh yeah, he had forgotten that part. And then bless his heart, he got me 10% off, but he forgot about the online price. He's like, so I'll get you out the door for $270. Does that sound good? And me and Emily look at each other and we're like, that's awesome, John. Thanks so much. And we're both, and so,
Oh my
so I was hoping that he was just going to give us the vacuum and then leave us on our way, so we could tell the cashier like what's up. But he's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and just walk you guys out here, get you taken care of. And so he's kind of a little bit in front of us, and Emily and I are whispering to each other. We're like, well, what do we do here? What's the plan? and because I'm like, God damn it, this is my absolute fucking nightmare. Is that somehow I have to like get this straightened out. And so I think I did it in a pretty I did it in the best way I could possibly think of, which is more or less like, hey, so do you think it would be possible to get the online price on this one? Because even though it's like a floor model, is that possible? Like, is that something we can do? He's like, oh yeah, what's the online price? We're like, I think like $200. He's like, oh yeah, we can do 10% off that, no problem. I'm like, okay, thank God. Like I didn't want to like make him feel bad or anything, but he's like, oh yeah, no problem. And so super cool, taken care of, got 10% off the online price, which was perfect, right? So the whole thing ended up working out pretty good. And then we got it home, and then I realized they forgot to take the spider wrap off. And I don't know if you guys know what this is, but it's basically this protection device for electronics, where it's just like a little plastic box that has like this a cord on it. That it's like a metal wire, and when you cut it, it just goes. So it's like those like security protection devices. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go back into quarantine city to have them take care of this device. And so I looked online. It's like, yeah, it just makes a noise. It doesn't spray ink or electrocute you or anything.
Oh, nice.
And so we got some wire cutters, and I had a bucket of water next to it. And so I cut the wire and I just dunked it in water immediately, figuring it'd like short the circuit or dampen the noise or whatever. And it wasn't really making any noise at all. I was like, okay, well, that was pretty anticlimactic. And then a few days later, we were out in the patio just having lunch. And I thought that I heard some construction noises from down the block that someone had like set an alarm off. And then Emily walked past the bucket and she's like, the noise is coming from the bucket over here. And sure enough, the device was in the bucket going, and I really, really, really wanted badly to smash something with a hammer because like, why the fuck not? That sounds awesome.
Perfect
And
opportunity.
she really didn't want me to, but I was like, these
so
opportunities don't come every
serendipitous
day.
for you. So serendipitous.
It doesn't come every day.
You just had that feeling. You're like, I want to smash something, and perfect
here we go.
opportunity.
Here we go.
To you.
And so, yeah, I just, I took it out of the bucket. I grabbed a hammer and I just like smashed the shit out of it until it stopped beeping. And now I have a vacuum that got on sale. No big deal.
And even broken
Nice.
security thing.
And I got to break a security thing.
And you're on some FBI crime list for Googling how to cut spider wrapping.
I was worried my neighbors were going to hear it and think that I was doing something dubious, but it wasn't that loud. I don't think
Like
anybody saw me.
they'd hear it and know somehow that sound is like, oh, did he steal a vacuum?
Well,
You hear that? Yeah, I know. I've heard that before. That's
I used to work at Home Depot.
I used to work at Home Depot. We used to have these they're like cord wire things, and they beep.
John, get in here. Give us your opinion.
Call
Can you
the
call
test
up,
line.
can you call up John?
John lives in the neighborhood.
They
He's
just,
lived there his entire
they
life.
just hold out their phone towards the sound. John, can you hear this? Oh yeah.
It's the sound we've been looking for.
It's your cousin Marvin. Marvin dear.
Marvin,
You hear this?
It's the sound you've been looking for.
It's funny because I knew that I wanted to tell the Home Depot story on the podcast, and I thought it'd be nice to have the accompanying video of me destroying the spider wrap thing. But the first 3 times I tried to cut it, I didn't realize that the tools I had were not sufficient to cut through this wrapping. And so there's several videos of me going, all right, here we go, ready to kind of destroy it. And I kind of try and cut it, and it just will not go through the wire. And next video, I have a new tool. Okay, here we go. I try and cut through it, and it wouldn't cut. So you had to actually order wire cutters to cut through the.
Oh my god!
How much were the wire cutters? Did it offset your 10%?
Man, it might have got close to breaking even, yeah. But now I have bonus wire cutters for the future.
I also like the fact that you're so worried about going into the world for coronavirus, but you bought the floor model that thousands of people have touched.
Yeah, but I tested it and it just felt right.
Well,
Yeah, fair enough.
you gave it a good sniff, right?
I don't want just any
absolutely.
vacuum. I want that one.
He touched it and then put his hands in his mouth just to make sure it tasted good.
That's right. You walk past the vacuums every time you go into a Home Depot and rub them just for good luck, right? So that you can get good deals.
100%.
100%.
100%. Yeah, I mean, vacuums are great devices.
Give him a good slap.
Phil, there was a situation right before the mics heated up today that I think ties into your segment today. Let's hear about Phil's Critter Corner.
Thank you. Play the music now.
We don't have it.
All right. Enough. Yeah, it was threat level midnight. In my my office is very tiny. It's I don't know a 6x6 little area that I live in. So when a giant murder hornet is in here, my anxiety goes through the roof. So I had to postpone a little bit before we got on where the mics were hot. Take care of some business. But that gave me a little bit of a deja vu. If I could direct all the podworms to our group chat, I posted a 7-second clip. Take a look at this.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
God.
Looks like you're doing a 360 in your room.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And it's just I see one spider.
Oh,
One
God.
giant spider.
Pretty big spider. Another
Basically-
giant spider.
They're fucking huge, man. They're
Two more giant
they're
spiders.
brothers.
Basically, 2 giant spiders in the corners of your room.
Gigantic.
Those
And this
are-
was taken at about 8:45 before I got on to work for the day. So not a great way to start your day, obviously. I kind of freaked out.
Those are those ones that are they're super fast and super large. I hate those.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh God, those
Very
are the
bad.
fucking worst.
So these are what we call trophy spiders, where they're so big that you can't just kill them. You have to be like, come look at this. Somebody else has to see this.
I thought you were
That's
gonna
the
say that
video.
you killed them and then you mounted them on the wall.
That's what you
Oh.
would do.
Their carcasses are still around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
No,
Those very painstakingly putting their legs back together to mount on the wall.
Some fucked up
He's gonna have
tiny,
them taxidermied.
yeah, tiny taxidermy. Oh my God.
just their little head coming out.
Yeah, just their. But with the
Giant plaque on the
yeah,
You're like, check this out. And
regular
everyone's like,
size
what?
plaque and then just a spider's head.
tiny little spider's head with eyes on it, and that's it.
Yeah,
This one's playing 3 little violins.
The head and the mandible.
So they were huge, right? So Chase was out of town. I called my other roommate Joe down so that he could, validate my insecurity. And he comes down, and I don't know how you guys kill spiders, but he told me, "Hey, you see that computer air duster you have over there?
No.
What you should do
No.
is turn it upside down,
Oh.
and then it shoots like a freezing mist, and you'll just, you blast them. It's easy."
All right. All
Play
right.
with fire.
I thought, yeah, great. I don't want to touch a spider. That's good. So I initially stand up and blast the first one, and it goes all right. He falls down. He doesn't quite die. So I had to scramble and grab some paper towel and took care of him. He was fine. So the next guy, if you can see from the video, was way up in the corner. And I couldn't really reach him, so I had to climb up on my desk, to get real close with the blaster. And so I get my head up in the corner, make sure I'm doing a real good job. And the first one, it didn't kill it. So the second time, I really want to make sure I blast the shit out of this spider so I don't have to like chase him down with a paper towel. So I invert the can and I just unload on this spider like no other. If you guys weren't aware, you're not supposed to like huff air duster.
Yeah,
Right.
you doing whippets in that room, dude?
Oh my God. I legitimately poisoned myself. I was standing up on top of my desk. I unloaded on this thing and they put like some bittering agent in there so you don't huff it that immediately makes you throw up. So I was in the corner. I blasted him. I'm standing on my desk. I blast this guy. I immediately have to throw up and I'm like, it's happening now. So I like try and jump off the desk, eat shit, knock my chair over, and I run to the bathroom and it was so fucking comical that I was laughing and throwing up at the same time, which is a terrible simultaneous sensation because you're like got the hiccups and like just.
Oh my God! No way!
It was so bad. It was so bad that when I got back, I don't know if air duster is like heavier than air, but I could like feel it in my lungs for like the rest of the day. So I'd just be typing and be like, and sincerely, Philip Williams.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Well, the story, don't poison yourself with air duster.
Wait, so-
it is the worst feeling in the world.
So you did kill it before you threw up.
I mean, I think so.
Oh no.
I hope so. I really did blast it, and I got so close. I was 6 inches away from this spider, just inhaling this stuff.
Oh my God.
Dude,
Ugh.
yeah. You guys heard about the murder hornets, right? The big ol'.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
In Washington
Yeah.
State, baby.
Well, I was thinking, like, what do you do to stop bugs like this? Because there's hornets that disturbed Phil before the show, right?
Yeah.
You take a hornet twice as big as that, and you have a shitload of there's like an invasive species. What do? Do you introduce giant mega spiders to get them? Like, what is the enemy
Oh, yeah, I don't
of a
know.
hornet? Because where does it stop?
I saw a video today of a fucking, what am I thinking of? The guys that have like the big pincer, you know? What am I
Praying
thinking of?
mantis.
Praying mantis.
Scorpions?
Saw a video today of a praying mantis eating a murder hornet alive
Ooh.
from his head.
Whoa.
He was like eating his head and holding the rest of his
Metal.
body, and it was squirming around. And then all of a sudden, you just see like there's like, oh, it's half of its head is gone, and it was just eating its head and like
That's
eating the whole
fucked.
thing.
So we need to introduce
Yeah.
invasive giant praying mantis.
Giant praying
Deal
mantis.
with
Yeah,
that.
dude, it was
Absolutely.
insane.
To deal
I was
with
like,
the-
that is so fucked.
The hornets.
Julia's been following
Um,
the murder hornets pretty closely, and she's like was pretty curious. Like, okay, if you did run into them, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, if you see one, like, what are you actually supposed to do?
Don't make eye contact.
Like, well, it's funny because like
Freeze.
legitimately, it's just all it is run.
Not like play dead.
No, not play dead, not like hide behind something or in like I don't know what else it would have been, but it's just kind of like it's literally a one-step escape route. Run.
Yikes.
So
Fly,
I
you fools.
was reading how the honeybees in Japan, where the hornets are from, they basically surround the big hornet with all of their bodies, and they superheat it in a ball of bees, and that kills it really quickly.
That's
And they're
insane.
being
So
attacked.
we just
But
need to
the
get
ones
organized
we
with our
have-
bees.
Yeah. Our bees need to organize.
We need to bring some of their bees over here to train our bees.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to have bee training.
Our bees are not even
Sessions.
fucking ready for this, man.
Our poor bees.
How many
man.
do you think are even here? For some reason, I feel like it's like we saw
Well-
one and we're like,
They're
guys.
talking about how they found and destroyed a nest on Vancouver Island, and then they found a couple like bees floating around in Whatcom County somewhere near Bellingham, and I'm like,
wait,
so
it's not
is
just
there
on
a
the
nest
shore.
or like you're just no? They like found them like in the woods or something.
They're
just
in the state.
loner bees.
They killed an entire bee colony in Blaine, Washington.
Oh, they had one in Blaine. Okay, that's what.
Yeah,
Wait.
they murdered like this poor beekeeper came out and was like, "Hello, bees." good morning. It's like, the humanity.
Oh, that's sad. He's like, good morning, Jerry, and
Oh my
Harold,
God.
and John, and
How's my favorite bees doing?
no, dude.
So this sounds like
And they were all headless.
Oh no,
This sounds like more of a real thing than I've given it credit.
that's sad.
Well, Washington has really been fucked. We were like the global epicenter for corona.
Yeah.
We're the
Yeah.
epicenter for murder bees.
Yeah.
I mean, the big earthquake's going to happen like next week, I'm sure.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Please.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
We're
Pretty
we're
sure
also the
anything-
epicenter for this liberal agenda.
Yeah.
That's right.
Couldn't
Yeah,
get any fucking worse as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's the real problem. No one's talking about
No,
it.
that's the problem no one's
Let me
talking about.
Let me free.
Did you guys see that?
We need to get this economy moving.
Let me free.
Did you guys see that Plandemic documentary that people are spreading
No.
around?
I actually-
Julie and I
did,
watched
but
it this morning.
I didn't click it because I was like, no.
Julie and
No,
I
thank
watched
you.
it. Guys, Bill Gates is fucking involved.
Obviously.
I watched the whole thing too,
Great.
just because I was curious. Because I've seen literally 4 of my friends posted it. In fact,
Oh my
a friend of
God.
mine's mom messaged it to me on Facebook.
What's it about?
I'm so
That's the first
excited.
time I heard
I love that. Kevin, you got to see this.
Kevin, I thought specifically you should
Kevin.
see this.
Kevin, you're
need to
very
know.
intelligent. I thought you need to know about
You need to tell your friends about this. You need to get everyone involved.
it. What's the high level explanation of it?
It's all Fauci is really just this is all just corruption. He's keeping us inside and trying to get everyone him and Bill Gates are talking about how every American needs a vaccine.
Yep.
So there's it ties into people not liking vaccines, and the whole point is that Fauci he's an owner of the patent for this vaccine. So him and Bill Gates
my
are going to make a
God.
shit ton of money. Masks don't actually protect you. They actually apparently activate the virus in your own breath.
Nice.
My favorite theory about the masks is that coronavirus is a lung disease, and if you wear a mask, it inhibits your lungs, which makes you more susceptible to coronavirus.
Oh my
Because you
God.
can't breathe.
No fucking way.
That's so silly.
That's just good science right there.
It's
Yeah.
just
Data is in.
it's amazing how you can just kind of point all these pointers at specific people, but they notably don't mention Trump at all in the documentary, which he would be a big part of this, right? If there's really a
he would
true
have
conspiracy,
to enable the whole thing, right?
because he could end the quarantine, it's just but they specifically don't it's all Fauci's the bad guy and Bill Gates is the bad guy, and then a whole ton of I was amazed by how many things you can say in a half hour that are not fact checkable.
Yep.
Right? Because you just have to believe this woman's word that the entire CDC is spending millions of dollars and money to hide her lies.
Yeah. It felt like what was that documentary about the guy that saw UFOs in Area 51?
Oh,
In case you know.
Fuck.
Okay.
I forget his name.
Bob,
I did a whole thing.
Yeah,
about,
Bob Lazar, that documentary.
Lazar.
It felt like that
Yeah.
because it's the ladies talking about they arrested me because I knew too much, and anytime I speak out, they put me back in jail. And then I was looking it up and straight, it's just she just stole some shit, and so they
Well,
arrested
she
her.
talks about that in the documentary. She says that that's what they said.
Yeah, it's a whole that's what they said, but everything
And
she's
that-
talking about
yeah.
isn't scientifically backed at all. It's just she had a theory that a lot of viruses were made because scientists were trying to make they're trying to make the vaccine for it, but the vaccine itself actually created the virus. There's all this kind of
Yeah. And just to
Which
clear
is
things
not-
up, though, it's not.
you know.
I mean, Bob Lazar is telling the truth.
Bob.
Just to clear
Yeah.
And it was just
right, yeah.
just an
of
example.
course.
I just meant it felt like that, but Bob Lazar
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
real, and
It's
then this
different.
one not.
Good.
I do like that coronavirus is unifying the world's dummies into one rallying cry.
Yeah.
Also,
I also like how nobody understands how vaccines work.
Yeah.
You have to have the virus first to make the vaccine for the virus. that don't go the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you make vaccines for viruses that don't yet exist.
I've made this vaccine for a virus.
I've cured 7,342 diseases that you will never see thanks to me.
Thanks to your work.
And the government covered it up, so you'll never know that I did it.
Yeah.
And the
They
CDC
haven't given me a
millions.
and they'll say it's because I stole napkins, but it's not.
It's the craziest thing. It just feels exhausting to live in this world where everything is evil and corrupt and there's some like dark lord ruling everything that somehow like Italy and the rest of the world is also in on trying to get Bill Gates and Fauci money.
Yep.
Like and what the heck if it's not a problem, right? If we can just open up now. They're literally burying dead people in the parks in New York because they don't have enough morgue space for all the dead bodies.
Yep.
Yeah,
But that's all just corruption because of the weakened immune systems.
Yeah.
That's
because of the sheltering. That's why people are dying.
The whole thing about it is my favorite thing is seeing the protesters for like, we got to open this country up. We got to restart the economy. They're all wearing masks. That's like the biggest indictment to them protesting at all.
My favorite
them
one
all
was,
wearing masks.
My favorite one was there's this picture of a lady holding a sign that had a mask with like a big circle and a line through it, and she was wearing a mask. That's just so funny,
God,
dude.
people are so fucking dumb.
Did you see that video of that lady who purchased something from like a local like 7-Eleven, but she'd cut a hole in the mask because it made it easier to breathe?
My personal favorite is the woman at Walmart wearing the snorkel.
Oh yeah,
That's
classic.
That's actually just
pretty
fucking smart.
effective. Pretty effective.
Because
Well,
the pipe is like above breathing level.
It's above the virus.
Yeah. It's above
The virus doesn't
yeah.
go above that 6 feet.
Yeah.
Viruses are not 6 feet tall, man.
Yeah. I will say the documentary, what they did have is a really great name. Plandemic. That's great.
Wow.
They came up with that.
Pretty good.
It's like how the
Great marketing.
pandemic was a pandemic. Boom.
No, I mean, and that gets people to watch it too. So
I mean, I
They nailed
watched
it.
it. I heard the name and I was like, I got to see this.
It's also so funny. Like it's amazing how you can just tie all these like things. Like Trump says nonsense from the podium, and then Fauci corrects him. So immediately, all the conservatives are like, "This guy's trying to lie to us." I've seen claims to like lock Fauci up and put him in prison. And even though he's like the only person that's even giving like any real facts out on the air, but because he disagrees with.
Maybe we should start our own conspiracy theory. How can we connect flat Earth to the coronavirus?
Yeah, and believing in the flat Earth caused the coronavirus, right?
No. Believing in the round Earth caused the coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Corruption.
It's round Earth propaganda
Yeah.
brought it.
we'll have to think on that.
I'll think
one.
on
I'm sure
that
it's not that. I'm sure it's not that difficult to tie them together because
Pills are round,
everything's
right?
connected.
Pharmaceutical companies,
The coronavirus, like the picture of it's round. It's like a globe, right?
right? So it's these pharmaceutical companies that are trying to get us to believe the Earth is round when they know, in fact, it's flat.
God
Flat
damn it.
virus.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
Flat
'cause-
virus.
if
What? 'Cause-
Scientist.
Let
Actually-
me ask you this.
yeah.
Let me ask you this, just to prove my point. Would you eat a flat pill?
God,
Definitely
no.
not.
Absolutely,
No.
Absolutely
No.
not.
No one would not. No, that's why they need us to believe the world is round so that we will take round pills.
you know, what I was just thinking
Kevin,
about.
you would have the most successful YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's actually
with all
true.
these points.
That's actually true. I think that if the coronavirus, if we actually flattened it, that it would have less surface area and less ability to carry the virus around.
Well,
Well,
flatten the
I don't-
curve, dude. What do you think it's all
exactly.
about?
Oh
Exactly.
shit!
Enough. It
Flatten
Think
the
about it.
curve.
Think about it.
flatten it enough.
Think about
It becomes 2D. You know, and
Mhm.
so then
Flat Earth.
And what do you think flatten the curve means, dude?
True.
Stay woke,
It would-
friends.
I mean, it would be really funny if flat Earth people came out as like the most staunch supporters of the quarantine, like they were the most rational and realistic people out there. And then at the very end of all their spiels, they're like, "And by the way, the Earth is a disc, and Antarctica is fake."
Antarctica
Stay in
is
your homes,
fake.
wash your hands, wear a mask.
stay safe, stay healthy. The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
Vote Biden.
We have some pod mail. And this is definitely not a conspiracy. This is a real goddamn mail from a fan of this show. And what's funny is I think we actually had called out for this pod mail, if I'm remembering correctly, but I didn't think this person actually listened, but apparently they do. Or
Exciting.
one of our fans reached out to them on Twitter and told them that they were called out and they had to come back to us. Pod mail. I don't know.
Our fans are ruthless when we call someone out.
Oh yeah.
They follow up.
Nothing
The
gets by
Pod
them.
Squad.
Yeah.
And this is probably a good time just to remind the space fans, like, no witch hunting. Don't dox people we call out here on the air. You don't have to go and just start a riot.
It's a comedy podcast. We're
It's a
just here to
comedy
have fun.
Relax,
Come on.
guys.
We're gonna have
Relax.
some laughs,
Appreciate your
Goofs, some
enthusiasm,
giggles.
but relax. This pod mail comes to us from my own father, Ron LeClaire.
Oh yeah.
And here is what he writes. He said, "Hey, Andrew, in reference to episode 122, Mike takes a wacky dump." That was definitely not the name of the episode. Close enough. It was Wacky Mike and the dump, but
Yeah, it was our nickname for our new podcast.
I kind of like Mike takes a wacky dump even more, though.
I mean, that's just like every day.
He says, sorry you've misremembered your childhood so significantly. To set the record straight, my issue with Conan O'Brien, just to set the stage here, we were
I
discussing
remember.
how, if I remember correctly, that he had turned me off from Conan O'Brien as a young lad. And when I started liking Conan O'Brien, I was like, what did my dad do? He was fucking wrong. Conan's great. He said, to set the record straight, my issue with Conan O'Brien is simply his effeminate string dance he does when he opens his show. You've always been very susceptible to outside influence, and it seemed you always straddled that fence.
Whoa.
I don't know what he's trying to imply here, but
Whoa.
What?
I guess that's why I overreacted and pushed Adam Carolla so heavily. You'll never find a guy from the Man Show pretending to cut a puppet string on his hip or rub his nipple on live TV.
He was worried. He's like, that Conan O'Brien's going to turn you into a sissy.
Wow.
And for what it's worth, since it seems you never paid all that much attention, Johnny Carson, then Letterman, greater than sign, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and then Conan O'Brien.
Whoa.
Not making the list at all are Jimmy Fallon or Jay Leno. Lovingly, your
Good
father, Ron.
I like how he shits on you and then signs it lovingly.
That's a
Yeah.
very
You know-
that's a very interesting email from your dad.
This
Yeah.
email
That's a-
this email is like bordering on satire, but it's so close that I can't tell
I
what's
can't
real
tell
and
if
what's
he's
not.
It's
Yeah.
it's on the line, right?
Well, it's kind of. I think I take a little bit after my father, and there's
Yeah.
just part of us it's hard to decode. What's reality? Like this podcast. What is real and what's a work of fiction? And I think you have to kind of walk that line and decide
Yeah.
for yourself.
True.
Yeah.
But either way, I 100% disagree with that list. But I will respectfully disagree because you gave birth to me.
That's true.
Not you, but you helped with the giving
So
birth.
you don't have to respectively disagree in that case because he didn't really give birth.
Yeah, he didn't really
That's
do
true.
shit.
Hey, fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, perfect.
Also, if Andrew wanted to do the string dance and rub his nipples, that's okay.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
all
yeah.
this protection saved you from nothing.
Well, here's a weird
Right.
thing is that while we're talking about my left nipple has actually been itchy for the last 3 weeks, specifically my left nipple.
Your
And so,
laugh nipple,
My laugh, it's where my laugh comes from.
where
Like,
my
watch this.
giggles come from.
But I
You
keep
might have breast cancer.
that's one concern. But I lotion it up, and it makes it feel a lot better. But it's a really weird sensation just
Wait,
being
you
a
lotion
dude.
it up? Wait, so
Just-
it's like, is it like dry?
I think it's dry. Like I'll walk in the bathroom and get a few pumps of lotion, just kind of
A few pumps.
rub it on there.
How big are your nipples?
That's a lot.
Hey,
Big old pepperonis you got over there.
Bums.
let's not worry about
My
that.
left nipple's dry again.
It's really dry.
Maybe you should switch to chapstick.
But what if I
Yeah.
actually get confused? Like, wait a second.
You have
Is this
chapped
my nipple
nipples.
chapstick or my lip chapstick? I don't know. My lips are really chapped. I just got to go for it. Oh, nope. Nipple chapstick. Yep.
Definitely nip chap.
Yep. Nip chap.
Definitely that nip chap.
Oh, he's got the nip chap bad.
Anyway, Dad, appreciate the email. All space fans. If you want to write in, pwspacecast@gmail.com. Love to read all your fan mails on the air. Okay. to end out this episode, we talk to each other sometimes more than once a week, but generally once a week is pretty much enough for me personally. But it does leave me wondering kind of what you guys have been up to. And I figured we could make that into a little bit of a challenge here to close out the show. And so what I have is let's see here, 7 different scenarios. All right. And you're all going to be responsible for keeping your own score as always, except for Mike. Gotcha, buddy.
Yes, great.
We're going to go through and I'll give you a scenario and you have to guess how many people in the group fall into the category of the scenario I'm describing. You can count yourself as part of the number. So we have 6 people on the show today. So the max number of people that can be doing this thing is 6 and the least number is 0. Okay. So, little quarantine check-in here. Starting with how many of the podworms, and we're using the last week as our frame of reference. So from last Wednesday to today. How many podworms have cooked 4 meals since last Wednesday? And by cooked, I mean actually like cut ingredients, or I'll use the criteria of you didn't purchase it from a restaurant and you didn't just microwave something like a frozen dinner or something. You actually cooked a meal.
We're missing Peter from this. Do we include him?
No, because we can't get his input if he did or
so
not.
it's just
1 through 6.
1 through 6.
Okay.
You had to make 4 meals.
You had to actually make 4 meals. Yeah. So
wait, we're just keeping track of whether we did it or not.
you're guessing how many people in the group did, but you are a free point because you know if you fall into the category or not.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
7. Easy.
How Peter's not here. All right. Next up, how many of the podworms have worked out at least once, one day in the last 7 days? And working out, I mean like 30 minutes of getting your heart rate up and you got a little sweaty afterwards. You know, so like biking, running, yoga, Pilates. I've never heard that. I've never heard that word actually said out loud. I just assume it's Pilates or something.
Pilates? My Pilates studio.
Yeah.
Pilates.
Okay. How many of the podworms have slept for 9+ consecutive hours in one single sleep?
Wait, have not at all this entire week?
have.
Oh.
Have done, because I'd say 8 hours of sleep is probably the recommended number. 9 hours is a little bit more than recommended, but you can do it. So I'm wondering if anybody's managed to do 9+ hours at least once in the last week.
Technically, 7.5 hours is the best, actually.
Thanks, Chase.
Just so everybody knows.
It's up to the individual. Some people operate great with less sleep.
Shut the fuck
Other
up,
people,
Phil.
Shut the fuck up.
It probably depends. Like,
stop trying to overshadow me, okay?
it might depend
just a man
if
of
you
science.
have
Get your science out of here.
I'm sick of living in your shadow, Phil.
and for the purpose of the last one, let's assume that CPAP, it doesn't involve, it doesn't change the results here. So CPAP, or
we all know that
CPAP-less.
CPAP sleep is not real.
Dude, that's like the steroid era of sleeping. Performance enhancing.
Performance enhancing sleep
Yeah, that does not count.
machine.
Okay. How many podworms over the last week have gone 2 days without taking a shower?
I mean, like, you take a shower, then the next day happens.
48
It's not
hours
hard.
pass.
48 hours, dude.
And then the next day happens, and then you shower the third. Then
Imagine this, Chase. You get out of the shower and then you hit a timer that says 48 hours.
okay,
Right.
There you go.
all right.
I think that's as clear cut as we can get it.
Always overshadowing me, dude.
How do you measure 2 days?
Yeah. What's your benchmark, Chase?
When the sun goes down,
Like a calendar day.
and then the moon
goes
comes out.
down.
You're like a medieval peasant.
That counts as one.
You're like when the big orb in the sky crosses towards Mother Moon. It is one day.
Mother Moon.
A calendar day. I love it. I'm still trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, it depends on which calendar. If it's a page-a-day calendar, those are much longer. than a typical 12.
He was probably thinking like, all right, if I take a shower at like 4:00 p.m. in the evening, and then I take another one like the next day, that's 2 days, right?
Because it's Monday, Tuesday. That's 2 days.
That's 2 days, right?
2 days done.
Let's just use 48 hours. It makes it less ambiguous.
Oh wait, 2 days? I gotta change my answer.
Yeah. Okay. How many of the Podworms over the last week have played at least 3 consecutive hours of video games in one sitting?
In one sitting.
Yeah, I mean, like you can go to the bathroom, but you're plugged in for 3 hours minimum. So how many of us have done that at least once over the last week?
I'll just give you guys a hint. For the past quarantine, I've pretty much been in the Matrix where I just plug in.
So go ahead and up your number by 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just getting warmed up at 3 hours.
How many of the Podworms over the last week have laid down in bed with the intention of going to sleep, but watched a minimum of 1 hour of YouTube on their phone? Or Netflix or whatever.
This is a good one.
And lastly, how many of the Podworms over the last week have called their parents? And for this one, I will give it to you if you've called at least one of the parents.
It's kind of sad. The quarantine has been the best thing for my relationship with my family. Everyone in my family is so bored, they actually call me.
All right, up it by 1.
Yeah, up it by 1. Dead giveaway.
You cheaters. I could have been lying. My family actually died last week.
Okay.
Dude, just to win the game, you're so fucked up, dude.
Agreed.
They got big time coronavirus.
Just kidding. They're all dead. But I'm gonna fucking win this game.
Just to win the game, he says that his entire family's alive and that they've been calling him, even though they're actually all dead and died last week. That's commitment.
Psychopath.
That is commitment to a game on a level I have never seen.
I've been fighting back tears this entire episode
You're doing,
just to do it.
you're doing
Hold
great.
on, is that the last calendar week though?
Okay, so let's rewind back to the beginning. I think the easiest way to do this is that we'll just go around and see who has done these things, and then we can figure out who actually got the answer correct. So, starting with how many people have cooked 4 meals in the last week? So Mike has, Jim has, I have, Kevin has. I can't see Phil's video, but
I have indeed. I've been a real Martha Stewart.
Phil has, and Chase has not. Chase, what the hell have you been eating?
Wait, what are you talking about?
You didn't raise your hand.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, no, I meant to raise my hand.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So all of us have.
That's
Okay.
6.
Nice, I got that right.
I got that
Should
wrong.
we say our scores before we reveal?
It doesn't matter. Sure.
Honor system, I guess.
Sure. I guessed 5, so I thought someone was going to be a lazy fuck. I was hoping it was Chase.
I guess 4.
I
Nah,
also
dude,
guessed 5.
I cook every meal.
I guess
boy.
4. I thought we're a lot of lazy fucks, like 2 of them.
Yeah,
I usually make dinner, but I do make a frozen pizza during the day.
that's fine.
That's
Do you
still
make a
meal.
frozen pizza from scratch?
Yep, I
Yeah.
make a pizza, freeze it.
We have a flat freezer.
I heard that makes it extra delicious.
Yeah, it
I
does.
order a Domino's pizza. It goes straight to the freezer.
Okay. How many people have worked out at least once? I guess it's your guesses first. I guessed 2.
I did 2.
I did 3.
4.
I guess 0.
I also did 3.
3. Okay, now who's actually done it?
I did.
Oh,
4.
wow, 4. Damn.
So me,
I did not
me,
have
Kevin, Mike, Jim, Phil. No.
What do you think?
Yeah, dude, we don't work out in this household.
That's 4. All right.
His family died, man. How'd you ask him
How am I
that?
supposed to motivate myself?
All right, fair enough. You get a pass. So 4. Yeah, so I was off. I thought we were lazier than we were.
I said 0.
We might, we might learn here that you can't really make assumptions even about your friends.
Wow.
You never know what people are doing.
I'm
They just might
always
surprise
learning.
you.
They might surprise you. Okay. How many people have slept 9+ hours in one night? I guessed 2 people.
I said 2 also.
3.
Oh, I went 6. I assume we're all lazy fucks.
I said 4.
Or
I said 0.
Okay. And in reality, who's actually done this? 9+ hours in one night? Chase, Kevin, Phil. Okay. 3.
3 it is.
Damn.
All right. Now, did anybody,
I was one short.
did anybody? Okay. Now, let me known. Both of our CPAP users have gotten 9+ hours of sleep. I mean, that's just kind of the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah,
It's the CPAP.
I don't know what it is, man, but I've been sleeping a lot since.
I mean, did they
quarantine
just
happened.
adjust the machine and give you like some more oxygen or something in the night?
They did, dude. They upped the pressure. They upped my pressure.
Dude, big CPAPs out there. They're just sedating the population.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can somehow profit off of people being asleep for longer.
They remote into the CPAP and up the whatever oxygen to make you sleep longer.
You know what? They're probably using my like breath for energy. There's like a little turbine inside my CPAP machine, and then it wirelessly gets, it's free energy. That's just free energy. is what
Free.
that is.
It's gotta be.
Free for free.
They're slowly stealing your soul.
Yeah. They're sucking it out of the tubes in your
Yeah,
head.
that doesn't help you sleep. They're just stealing your
Well,
soul.
really, actually,
dude.
the air is blowing in, so they're blowing in a
No,
soul.
the
What-
thing is,
what's
they're
your- what's
blowing
your
your
sleep?
soul out.
They're like pushing it out.
Yeah, they're
of
just
one,
like
and then it
if
goes
you
out,
vacuum
goes
it
in
hard
one.
enough, or just blow it hard enough, it just like pops right out.
Okay, okay.
If I know anything about the human body, when you push air into it, farts come out of it.
Yeah.
Your soul,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
That's your soul. Yeah,
Soul.
we're on the same page.
Yeah, I feel bad for Zoe in that case. Okay.
Whatever.
Played 3 consecutive hours of video games. I guess at least 3 people have done this.
I 3
said
as well,
3.
but I think
I-
my answer's too low.
I said
I have 5.
6.
All 6. Okay. In
Oh,
reality,
damn.
who's done this?
I have.
Me,
I
Mike,
have.
Jim, Chase, and Phil. And
That's
Kevin's the
5.
only person who hasn't because he's working
Boo!
all
Kevin
day.
I
has
got it
not.
right.
Damn it.
Fuck.
I got it right.
between
Yeah,
work
I
and
get-
work and sleep. That's all Kevin has time for, apparently.
that time in on the weekend.
Fair enough.
And his crippling heroin addiction.
And the
Yeah,
heroin.
he's got it.
That's right.
Answer to that.
That'll
Crippling.
that'll take up some
Between
time.
work, sleep, and heroin, I've got no time.
No time.
Oh, that's not, wait, what was the last part?
So you want to try some meth? I don't have any time for that.
Too busy with the heroin. I got so many hobbies.
I don't have any time.
Okay. Who has planned to go to bed and then watched YouTube for at least an hour in bed laying down? I guessed 4 people have done this.
Guessed all of us.
Yeah, I did 6.
I guess 4.
Ooh, I guess 3.
I did 4.
Okay. And who's actually done this? I have, Jim has,
I have.
Kevin has,
I have not.
and Phil has.
I have not.
Okay.
Is that
Again, Chase with the good sleep.
is that 4?
Yes, dude, I got it right.
That's the only one I got right.
Chase
Dude.
with the good sleep. Is that the new Becky with the good hair?
Chase with the good sleep.
I'll take that, dude.
Chase with the good sleep. Yeah. I guess so.
I
So
don't-
what do you guys just like lay there with your thoughts? I don't
What
get
the
it.
hell
I
is
fall
that?
asleep
No, dude, I don't-
immediately.
Yeah, I don't frick around. I fall asleep within like.
I don't frick around.
don't
Okay.
frick around,
I don't
dude.
frick around. Okay.
I really don't. I really don't, dude. When I
When it
go
comes
to
to
bed,
sleep.
I go to bed. I put on
I
Harry
frickin'
Potter
go
audiobook,
straight to sleep.
and I fall asleep within 15 minutes.
We've been listening
every
to.
time.
Oh my god, we've been listening to the like whatever the Calm app is that we've been listening.
Oh, yeah.
Like Stephen Fry tells you a story about like lavender fields in Italy or whatever, and it's like
Wow.
they wrote it to be the most boring, interesting shit on the planet because it's like 25 minutes, but by the end of it, like I was like half thinking it was really funny and half actually falling asleep because I was just like, he's just like, lavender smelled so good. And you're like, oh,
Is that really what it's like?
yeah, honestly, you should check it out. They're on YouTube, but it's like they're interesting enough that you're like, okay, this is worth listening to. But then it legitimately just puts you straight to sleep because it's like
Nice.
so boring.
Well, I think we should
Fuck
issue a warning to Chase because a CPAP plus Calm,
Yeah, don't-
you
I mean,
might
don't-
enter a coma.
yeah, don't-
you might never.
don't
you might
get
never
wild
wake
out
up.
there, okay?
That's I'll be asleep for 11 or 12
Yeah,
hours.
stay safe, dude. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe out there.
You'll just die from the farts in your room.
Fart suffocate.
that are being pushed out.
It's
Yes.
like got a medication label that's like, do not mix with boring stories.
Okay. Lastly, who called their parents in the last week. I thought at least 4 people.
Wait. It's who talked to their parents, right? It's not who called their parents.
Does who initiated it matter?
No.
Okay.
Okay, right. So let's just say they talked to their parents. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I said everybody. I think we're all good
five,
kids.
Figuring there's one.
I said 5.
One who did not.
Figuring that there
I
was
also
one
said 5.
fuckhead out there.
I said 4. I didn't believe you guys. Who did it? Really?
I talked to my parents.
I went to their grave and talked to the headstone.
That's all 6. That's all
6 of us
6.
did?
Damn, dude, we're all good kids.
Man, we're all good kids.
Wait, who guessed
Oh.
6?
I did.
I didn't. I guess 5.
Phil. It's because Phil knew because he fucking lied about his dead family.
Well, I was
Cheater.
thinking about you guys when I was speaking to my dead family. Just like, man, I wish I was in their position.
Honestly,
where I didn't have to talk to the groundskeeper and then the headstone.
you guys, does it count that I'm talking to you guys right now? Because you're my family.
Oh.
It's not. It's your parents.
Biological parents. Doesn't count. I only got 2 of those right at the end of the day.
I got one.
There's
Make it
still
more
another
than that?
question.
Yeah, there's one more.
Yeah, there's one more.
There's
It's
another
7.
question.
What was the last one?
I
Yeah,
don't
tell me.
remember. I guess
Tell me.
3 though.
No,
How many?
No, there's
Tell me the
not.
last one.
That was
Tell me the last one.
What's the last? No,
What?
Andrew.
no. That
I
was
got called
Why would
out.
I have
What was the last
written-
one?
I wouldn't
Huh?
have just written down another
But
question.
I-
Yeah, I wrote down one.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
excuse me.
seven.
You definitely asked a 7.
What? No.
What?
I wrote down.
That was 7.
This was 7. I wrote down the last one. I wrote down each of the prompts for each one. He didn't ask another one. That was it.
That was it.
So why do
Then
I have
why
7?
do I have
There-
another?
there are seven.
Yeah, there are
There
seven.
are
I've got
7.
7.
There are 7. We just did
There were.
7.
Cooked 4 meals, worked out at least once, 9 hours of sleep, 2 days without showering.
We
Did I
didn't
skip
do
that
2
one?
days without showering.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
didn't do it.
Okay,
Oh.
all right.
Wait
All
a second.
right.
Are we out of order? Because
Yeah.
maybe I
Yeah,
didn't
we're
get
out
the
of
right.
order too.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, Andrew, you fucked me. You fucked me.
But it's okay, Mike. I'm keeping your score.
Oh, thanks,
Okay,
dude.
let's do showering.
Yeah, no
We
problem.
could just do these ones that we already did though.
2 days without showering.
Which
Let's
one?
see.
Wait, what order was that one in?
That was
Because
number
I-
4. That was number 4.
God damn it.
No.
The real number 4.
Okay, the real or the
Okay.
fake number 4?
What was it? 2 days without showering?
Yeah, I said one person, one dirty.
I
said
also
motherfucker.
guessed
Three.
one.
I said one
Three people.
dirty fucking dirty
3 of
clamshell
us.
of a person.
dirty
Ooh,
mongrel.
I'm guessing Jim's one.
Yeah.
I guess 6.
Jim's one. I mean, he's making a face like it might be possible.
I'm actually not one of those. I
That's
just guessed
a
3.
2.
Oh.
They're all
Okay.
at home.
Did anyone actually not take a shower for 2 days? 2 calendar days?
Oh yeah, me.
Yeah, Phil.
Phil?
There's one.
Bill?
Yeah.
Phil, you go into the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah, Phil, you're the only
See-
one going into the office. What the fuck's wrong with you?
To be fair, I need to defend myself.
Your
It
family
was
did
from
die.
last week. Yes, I was distressed.
Wait, so just again, how long is 2 days?
2 calendar days.
Just so I could do.
Wait, like two
Just so we're all on the same page.
day calendars or month calendars?
Day calendars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the tear off ones where you have a different Far Side comic for every day.
Oh, okay.
Right. Exactly right.
I
No,
love
no.
those.
You know what? I think because of a clerical error, there is no winner of this game.
What? I got
Bullshit.
no.
I got 3 of
I
them
got-
right.
What? I got 1
I
point.
got 2 of them right, so I win.
I got 2 of them right.
Who claims to
I
have
also
gotten
got
3?
2, so
I
I
got
win.
3.
Bill, which
I
ones
got
did you get right?
Question 1 right, question 4 right, which is actually question 5. But I had the same number for both of those, so it still counts.
Okay.
Oh, you cheated.
I'll
And
buy
then
it.
I got question 6 right.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Pretty good.
I guess.
And to be fair, I wrote all my answers on a used paper plate, so I'm going to frame this and hang it in my office.
Right next to that spider's
Oh.
head.
and the dead wasp.
That's beautiful.
Collecting trophies.
Well, if anyone at home has not showered in 2 calendar days, why don't you let us know? pwspacecast@gmail.com. We'd love to read your emails here on the air. You can follow our social media, Podworms Spacecast, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have a website, pwspacecast.com. If you like this show, share it with your other buddies who are stuck at home with nothing to do. If you like it, they're going to like it, we're going to like it back. So, until next time, Space fans, as always, stay safe and keep squirming.